non-believers.
How did that?
To all the non-believers, especially you, Tom Jackson. Way to have our back, Keyshawn. Anybody can be beat.
Welcome back to Jets Fuel. This is episode 2. This is Scott, and today we're going to be discussing a recap of my thoughts and feelings on the 2024 New York Jets season. To sum this up briefly, it was terrible. It was garbage. It was trash. It was the most overhyped Jets team I could ever remember in my 40-year span. Even going back to the previous season, obviously, you know, with Rodgers getting hurt 4 plays into the season, these 2 seasons have been the most overhyped and like the biggest disappointment. And as Jet fans, for me to say it was like the biggest disappointment, that should say something. I know all you Jet fans can understand and relate to this, because this past year was supposed to be our year, and it turned out to be nothing but regular Jets garbage. I'm still, when I think about the Jets and this past season, it baffles me that we couldn't find a way to make the playoffs and couldn't put out a better product.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
Yeah, so today we're going to just give a brief recap in regards to the 2024 season. Apologize for all this fumbling and mumbling stuff. New to this stuff, so I'll get better as time goes by. Yeah, 2024 record was 5-12, garbage. Just like the last 5-6 years, it's been like below average garbage play. Robert Saleh started off the season as our head coach. After going 2-3, he was fired. Never was a Robert Saleh fan. As people in this household, my friends know, I didn't care for him very much at all. He always seemed like a great guy, and then when he was coming out of the 49ers as the defensive coordinator, I had a lot of high hopes. He was always on the sideline, you know, energetic, passionate. And I feel like when he came to the Jets, outside of like positive plays, he was just, it reminded me like Eric Mangini, just sitting there and just letting stuff just go by and not calling out and holding players accountable. It's just infuriating to watch him on the sidelines. I wish him nothing but the best, but he was not like my style of football coach. Going back to episode 1, my favorite era was the Rex Ryan era. I love that old school mentality coach where they're in your face, you mess up, they hold you accountable. Yeah, so Saleh was not that type of dude for me. And yeah. One of the key things I'll mention for the 2024 season, which it goes to coaching and the players, is that we always struggle to close out close games. I think we were 3-7 in 1-score games. And that's been the trend under Saleh. Saleh struggled their teams always struggled to close out close games and undisciplined football play. The penalties were just never ending watching this team. And he would just sit there, just let these guys go on and off of the damn field, not holding nobody accountable, not screaming and yelling, which you don't have to do that. But guess what? As a fan base, we're screaming and yelling up in the stands, and this guy is just sitting there letting these guys run amok, do whatever the hell they want. I don't know. I think in the last 3 seasons, we've led the NFL in penalties 2 out of those 3 seasons, if I remember correctly. And just touching base onto this team, we're already starting off with this stuff, even though I think Aaron Glenn is going to nip it in the butt. Preseason game 1, they had 10 penalties, I think. And I think it was on the defensive side of the football. Anyway, so let me go back to the 2024 season. Yeah, so Saleh's fired. Everybody put the focus on Aaron Rodgers, as they should be. Hall of Fame quarterback, came off a major injury with his Achilles, came back into this past season. And I always thought that it was going to be a little bit of a transition because he came off a major injury. The guy's 40 years old, got some miles on. We have a terrible offensive line. Yeah, so I thought there was going to be at least 3 to 6 games where he was going to get his legs underneath him and really snowball and see what, show us what Aaron Rodgers is all about. Him and Garrett Wilson, I thought was going to be a great connection. Sprinkle in a little Alan Lazard, and then obviously they brought in Devontae Adams. None of that stuff worked. So those first within the first 2 games of the season, Rodgers already got hurt because our offensive line just went to garbage. So that delayed everything. But you saw after about week 8 to week 9, you saw a transition where Rodgers was playing a lot better football. And stat-wise, he threw almost, I think it was 3,900 yards, 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. He had a passer rating of 90. For us as Jet fans, we don't see that. Even though these numbers are a little skewed because last year we just decided to abandon the run game. We were ranked number 31st in the league in our rushing attack, which is unacceptable. So a lot of these numbers is skewed, but also Rodgers was playing well in the second half of the season. Guy's a Hall of Famer. For us to let go of him in this past, I'm going to step forward because my next episode I want to touch base in regards to the off-season move and stuff. So I won't go into that. But yeah, our passing attack was ranked, right in the middle of the league, I think 15th or 16th. We had a good passing attack. We could not figure out how to utilize Breece Hall. We could not figure out a way to utilize Corley. We couldn't run the ball for nothing. And I don't know if that was due to game planning or we had a piss poor offensive coordinator, Hackett. That's what led to our season. Is we weren't playing balanced football. It was all one-sided, and obviously Rodgers coming off a major injury. I thought that was also a significant problem. Also, on the other side of the football, defensively, even though I think in total defense we were pretty good. Our passing defense was pretty good. For me as a Jet fan in these last 3 or 4 years under Solid, that's one thing I will give Solid. We played great defensive football. This year we struggled defensively. We struggled across the board. But most importantly, we struggled on third downs. We could not get off the field for nothing. It was just a constant, we get ourselves in the third down, and we couldn't find a way to get off the field. Another thing was our sacks. Even though Will McDonald had a great season, breakout season, and a lot of these numbers are obviously, we didn't have Jermaine Johnson because he got hurt week 1. We still struggled to get to the quarterback, which is not going to help. We ranked number 22nd in the league in sacks. But, the bright spot was Will McDonald. And I'm looking forward to see what he could do this upcoming season when he has Jermaine Johnson right next to him. So that's just a brief overview as to my thoughts and feelings of this past season. It was a major disappointment on epic levels because you even had the media, the national media, New York media, for once in their life was giving us props and saying, the Jets are going to be Super Bowl contenders, this, that, because the media around here, they just bash on us constantly. The first preseason game, they started off the commentators started off by bashing the Jets. It's like, this is just a normal thing. But for us to get this overhype and stuff, even me, I bought into it. I thought we were going to be a legitimate playoff team. And I was definitely wrong on that. And season was garbage. Hopefully this season we can turn it around. Next episode, I'm going to discuss our off-season moves, touch a little bit about my thoughts and feelings on how we handled the Rodgers situation. Also bringing in Aaron Glenn as our head coach. So stay in tune and appreciate you guys tuning in. Go Jets.